Good evening, live from New Delhi. You're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh, coming up in the next 30 minutes. Iran denounces reimposition of UN nuclear sanctions. EU says nuclear issue can be solved only through diplomacy. S. Jaishankar slams epicenter of global terrorism in India's neighborhood, also flags dire need for reform at the United Nations. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hails women power in 126th episode of Mann Ki Baat, urges citizens to go vocal for local during festive season. And after 41 years, India and Pakistan to clash in Asia Cup final in Dubai International Stadium. Men in blue look to continue their winning run. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar addressed the 80th United Nations General Assembly, urging UN reforms, empathy for Global South and action against terrorism. He highlighted India's readiness for greater responsibilities, decreed the ongoing conflicts and stressed on international cooperation for peace and a just world order.
External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar delivered a compelling address at the 80th United Nations General Assembly on Saturday. On building peace, the minister decried conflicts in Ukraine and West Asia, emphasizing nations like India must engage all sides for solutions. He lambasted terrorism, calling for choking its financing and sanctioning perpetrators.
While asserting our rights, we must also firmly face up to threats. Countering terrorism is a particular priority because it synthesizes bigotry, violence, intolerance, and fear. India has confronted this challenge since independence, having a neighbor that is an epicenter of global terrorism. For decades now, major international terrorist attacks are traced back to that one country. UN's designated lists of terrorists are replete with its nationals. The most recent example of cross-border barbarism was the murder of innocent tourists in Pahalgam in April this year. India exercised its right to defend its people against terrorism and brought its organizers and perpetrators to justice.
The minister also called for urgent reforms to revitalize the gridlocked UN and greater empathy toward the Global South amid escalating global crises.
Central to the erosion of the UN's credibility has been resistance to reform. Most members strongly desire change, but the process is being made an obstacle to the outcome. It is imperative that we see through this cynicism and purposefully address the reform agenda. The historical injustice done to Africa should be redressed. Both permanent and non-permanent membership of the Council must be expanded. A reformed Council must be truly representative, and India stands ready to assume greater responsibilities.
Highlighting UN's credibility, Jaishankar stressed the need to expand the Security Council's permanent and non-permanent membership. He positioned India as a leader ready to shoulder more responsibilities, noting the nation's more than 600 development projects across 78 countries and aid in crises like earthquakes in Afghanistan and Myanmar.
The predicament of the Global South is especially acute. Bharat, under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, believes that it has both a duty to contribute and an obligation to motivate. They range from large infrastructure to small livelihoods, from capacity building to people's welfare, from concrete assets to education and training. India has been forthcoming in that regard, especially in its immediate vicinity. Whether it is finance, food, fertilizer or fuel, we have responded to the urgent requirements of our neighbors.
EAM Jaishankar's speech underscored the need for international cooperation, stating that islands of prosperity cannot flourish in an ocean of turbulence, advocating a reformed multilateralism for a just world order. Bureau Report, DD India.
In other news, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the nation on Sunday through the 126th episode of his monthly radio program, Mann Ki Baat. Prime Minister Modi paid tributes to freedom fighter Bhagat Singh and legendary singer Lata Mangeshkar on their birth anniversaries, highlighting their courage and cultural contributions. He spoke to Indian Navy officers Lieutenant Commander Dilna K and Lieutenant Commander Rupa, who completed the Navika Sagar Parikrama, sailing 47,500 kilometers in 238 days, facing storms and raising India's flag at Point Nemo.
हमें इस एक्सपेडिशन में कई चैलेंजेस फेस करना पड़ा, स्पेशली सर सदर्न ओशन में हमेशा मौसम बुरा होता है, हमें 3 तूफानों को भी फेस करना पड़ा और सर हमारा बोट सिर्फ 17 मीटर का है और लेंथ में उसका विड्थ है सिर्फ 5 मीटर। तो कभी कभी कुछ लहरें आती थी जो 3 स्टोरी बिल्डिंग से भी बड़ी थी सर, और हमने बहुत ज्यादा गर्मी और बहुत ज्यादा सर्दी दोनों फेस किया है हमारे जर्नी में। अंटार्कटिका में सर जब हम सेल कर रहे थे, हमारा टेम्परेचर 1 डिग्री सेल्सियस और 90 किलोमीटर पर आवर का हवा दोनों एक साथ हमको सामना करना पड़ा था, और हमने ठंड से बचने के लिए 6 to 7 लेयर कपड़े एक साथ पहनते थे और पूरा सदर्न ओशन हमने ऐसी 7 लेयर ऑफ क्लोथिंग से किया।
The death toll in a stampede at a rally in southern India's Karur district of Tamil Nadu has risen to 40, while 51 others are injured. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M. K. Stalin held an emergency meeting following the incident. He said single-member commission has been mandated to look into the circumstances leading to the tragedy. The commission, led by retired Madras High Court Judge Justice Aruna Jagdishan, will submit the report and action will be taken based on that. Hundreds of art school students, professional painters and artists gathered at the National Gallery of Modern Art in Delhi on Sunday. This was a full-day workshop held during a Seva Parv, a festival dedicated to Prime Minister Modi's vision of Viksit Bharat, or developed India as a superpower by 2047. Prime Minister Modi, whose 75th birthday just went by this month, was the favourite object and inspiration for the artists. Widespread UN sanctions against Iran returned into force late on Saturday for the first time in a decade after last-ditch nuclear talks with Western powers failed to produce a breakthrough. Britain, France and Germany triggered the return of sanctions on Iran at the UN Security Council over accusations that the country has violated the 2015 deal that aimed to stop it from developing a nuclear bomb. Iran denies seeking nuclear weapons, an 11th-hour effort by Iran allies Russia and China to postpone the sanctions until April failed to win enough votes in the Security Council on Friday, leading to the measures taking effect at midnight GMT on Sunday. Iran will again be subjected to an arms embargo and a ban on all uranium enrichment and reprocessing activities and any activity related to ballistic missiles capable of delivering nuclear weapons, including launches. Other sanctions to be reimposed include a travel ban on dozens of Iranian individuals, an asset freeze on dozens of Iranian individuals and entities, and a ban on supply of anything that could be used in Iran's nuclear program. And all countries are authorized to seize and dispose of any items banned under UN sanctions, and Iran will be prohibited from acquiring an interest in any commercial activity in another country involving uranium mining, production or use of nuclear materials and technology. Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio urged Tehran to engage in direct talks with the U.S. after UN sanctions return. Rubio also called on UN member states to immediately implement sanctions to pressure Iran's leaders to do what is right for their nation and best for the safety of the world. British, French and German foreign ministers said in a joint statement that they would continue to seek a new diplomatic solution to ensure Iran never gets a nuclear weapon. They also called on Tehran to refrain from any escalatory action. European Union foreign policy.
Testing us. How far it can go. It's also trying to sow fear within our societies that, if we are supporting Ukraine, then this war comes to other territories and it's expanding. And that's why we have to be very firm on this. Now, as the Polish Prime Minister today said, if the planes are violating airspace, every country has the right to defend itself.
European Union Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas has said that the bloc would now proceed to implement the reimposition of all previously lifted UN and EU nuclear-related sanctions without delay. She added that it is the position of the European Union that a sustainable solution to the Iranian nuclear issue can be only achieved through negotiation and diplomacy. Meanwhile, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi urged UN Secretary General to prevent a revival of mechanisms to implement UN sanctions after they were reimposed on Tehran. Araghchi wrote in a letter posted on X, and I quote, "We urge you to prevent any attempt to revive the sanctions mechanisms, including the Sanctions Committee and panel of experts. Tehran will not recognize any attempt to extend, revive or enforce UN sanctions." In other news, Vietnam has rolled out its first vaccine against respiratory syncytial virus, a leading cause of pneumonia developed by Pfizer. This vaccine will help in reducing hospitalizations and deaths among pregnant women, newborns and seniors. Japan's Yoneida Satoshi won the top prize at the prestigious Prasar International Competition for Young Conductors in France, becoming the 11th Japanese winner. Historic citadel of Aleppo in Syria has been reopened after major restoration, marking a symbolic moment of recovery for the country. The citadel, listed by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site, was significantly damaged in the country's civil war. Still to come on this edition of DD India Live. Massive smoke plume seen from plane over Penalba de la Sierra as wildfire threatens central Spain. Get your glimpse of India's movement against obesity and towards healthier future. Fit India Sundays on Cycle.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India. Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. Some updates from the Russia-Ukraine war zone.
Russia carried out one of its largest precision strikes on Ukraine, saying it targeted military sites and airfields with long-range weapons and drones. Moscow's defense ministry confirmed the massive operation, stressing that civilian targets were not the focus. Ukraine has said that 595 drones and 48 missiles were fired overnight, most of which were intercepted by its air defenses. President Zelensky confirmed that the 12-hour assault damaged a cardiology clinic, factories and homes. Meanwhile, Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov of Russia has cautioned the West against hostile moves near Russian airspace, warning of a decisive response, while reiterating Moscow's readiness for dialogue with Washington.
Threats of force against Russia, accused of practically planning an attack on North Atlantic and the European Union, are becoming increasingly common. President Putin has repeatedly debunked such provocations. Russia has never had and does not have such intentions, but any aggression against my country will be met with a decisive response. There should be no doubt about this among those in NATO and European Union, who not only convince their voters of inevitability of war with Russia and urge them to tighten their belts, but also openly declares preparation for an attack on our Kaliningrad region and other Russian territories.
In central Spain, a huge cloud of smoke was seen from a regional emergency services aeroplane flying over the Penalba de la Sierra on Sunday. 2 towns were evacuated and assistance was requested from military emergency unit as wildfire was escalated to a level 2 emergency by the regional government. According to Infocam, an area of around 2,800 hectares were ravaged by flames. Visitor access to the areas and nearby locations has been restricted by the authorities in a bid to facilitate firefighting efforts. On to sports now. India and Pakistan are ready to battle for the 3rd time in this Asia Cup in Dubai, marking the very first time that both nations will compete in the finals in the tournament's 41-year history, giving the clash an added intensity. DD India's Mukesh Shukla brings us more of the final showdown.
The stage is set as India will take on Pakistan in the final of the Asia Cup 2025 at the Dubai International Cricket Stadium, marking the first time that the two arch rivals will meet in Asia Cup final in 41 years history of the tournament. This will be the 3rd and final meeting between the two teams in the marquee T20I competition and the 4th overall at this venue in 2025. The men in blue have enjoyed a flawless campaign so far, winning all 6 of their matches, including 2 victories over Pakistan, once in the group stage and again in the Super 4 stage. Riding on this momentum, the Surya Kumar Yadav-led side will be aiming to get the better of their arch rivals once more and secure their record-extending 9th Asia Cup title. Pakistan, on the other hand, have had a stop-start journey. They suffered defeats only against India but managed to win all their other matches, some comfortably and others by bare margins, giving their fans a lot to cheer about. Their campaign has been mixed, but they have found ways to win through collective efforts rather than relying on individual brilliance. Talking about the rivalry between the two teams in finals, India and Pakistan have played 5 finals in limited overs tournaments that have included more than 5 teams. India's only wins have come in the Benson and Hedges World Championship of Cricket and the inaugural T20 World Cup in 2007. Pakistan have won the other 3 encounters, that is Austral Asia Cup and most recently the Champions Trophy. Whereas in the head-to-head battle in T20Is, India take the lead, winning 12 out of 15 encounters. The India-Pakistan rivalry in cricket finals has always delivered intense and unforgettable moments with history, pride and a coveted trophy on the line. This Asia Cup 2025 final promises to be yet another thrilling chapter in this storied competition. Mukesh Shukla's report, DD India, Dubai.
In Sri Lanka, the Viksit Bharat run was held at the Gale Face Screen in Colombo, drawing enthusiastic participation from the Indian diaspora and Sri Lankan citizens. The event, organised by High Commission of India in partnership with Indian Cultural Association, the High Commissioner of India, Santosh Shah, administered Viksit Bharat pledge to everyone. The 5-kilometer run was part of Seva Pakhwada fortnight dedicated to service and community engagement. Participants celebrated the strong bonds between India and Sri Lanka. The event ended with cultural performances of Indian music, dance, highlighting shared traditions and unity. More than 500 runners and volunteers gathered at the Dubai's Kite Beach for the Viksit Bharat run. On the occasion, Consul General of India in Dubai and chief guest at the 5-kilometer community run, Satish Sivan, administered the Viksit Bharat pledge to the participants. He stated that for Viksit Bharat, participation of Indian foreign nationals is important.
Viksit Bharat is not going to be possible unless our Pravasi Bharatiya contribute in spirit and in kind. And today's participation by all our brothers and sisters in Dubai and all the Emirates very clearly demonstrates the spirit and the love that our brothers in UAE have for our motherland. And I also take this opportunity to thank the rulers of this country for making such an event possible.
Very excited to hear this Viksit Bharat run. Every day I come here for walk at Kite Beach, but this is a very excited moment, and to see so much of a crowd which are being part of this run.
The High Commission of India in Pretoria, South Africa, too hosted the Viksit Bharat Run 2025. The run highlights the role of fitness, physical well-being in India's journey towards becoming a developed nation. DD India's Nazneen Ismail has more.
Pretoria came alive as members of the Indian community, South Africans and Friends of India came together for the Viksit Bharat Run. The event is part of Seva Pakhwada, a fortnight of service observed every year from 17 September to the 2nd October, connecting the birth anniversaries of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Mahatma Gandhi. The fortnight focuses on health, community participation and social responsibility. How did you enjoy our Viksit Bharat Run today?
Excellent. So I completed the 5 kilometers and I see people are still completing. So good for me. But it's an excellent concept that we have started for a developed India. And this year we celebrated the 75th birthday of our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, on 17th September. And this is a 15 days, a fortnight long observation of Seva, service to the nation, and which will continue from 17th September to 2nd October, which is Gandhi Jayanti, birthday of Mahatma Gandhi. So, and probably this will be done every year, and I'm happy that this will instill a sense of commitment in the diaspora and the commitment that the country of India has with the diaspora. So many have joined. I think more than 200 people have joined today in this run, and we will do it every year. And there will be other activities as well. We are thinking of planting of trees, Ek Peड़ Maa Ke Naam, and also going to schools to promote the idea of Viksit India, the developed India, which we want India to be by 2047. Thank you.
In Pretoria, that spirit was channeled into promoting health and physical well-being, recognized as a vital step towards building a stronger, more resilient nation.
It is a very great thing and it's a great awareness for this park run, and I'm a regular park runner, and I really appreciate the Indian High Commission for taking a part and encouraging all the people of Lodium and all.
Yeah, all people should be healthy and take care of their health also. This is a good event. I think every year this event should be done.
For DD India, South Africa, from the heart of Pretoria, I'm Nazneen at the Viksit Bharat Run, where every step today counts as a step for a brighter tomorrow.
That's all for this edition of DD India Live. Let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and iOS. Scan the QR code and download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live. Namaskar.